like one of the start of the shift briefings with all the senior staff. Just going over like, and really it's going to be like a little role-playing session, and it's really just going to be going over like the status of the ship, health of the crew, stuff like that.
Okay. How long? Well, I guess it's unknown how long after all that.
Yeah, so I think I know where you're going, Doc, and yes, everyone is healed and back on their feet.
Oh, okay. Well, then there will just end up being a weird distance between me and Michaelson. Like, they won't be on the same end of the room or near each other kind of thing, yep. I would assume.
Cool. Yeah, and it kind of give you a perspective about like maybe a time frame a little bit. You just cleared Commander Prax for duty, maybe right before the briefing. So it's not terribly long, but not terribly close to the last session either.
Okay. So, yeah, if Michelson's okay with that, that's kind of how it's probably going down, is I'm on one end of the room, he's on the other, kind of avoiding each other.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll let whoever wants to lead this, lead it.
I can walk in to start things off.
Yep, by all means, Captain.
So I'm gonna enter. So, how's my ship? Chief?
At the present time, Captain, we still have major breaches to the engines. We still need to see the inside of the star dock to get that fixed properly. But otherwise, shields are operational. Everything else seems to be working as far as I can tell. We are still looking over, see if we can speed up the repairs later on. But we'll have to, until we actually get it in dry dock, it'll be hard to see exactly how long it should take. Sir.
Thank you, Chief. Commander Regoff, how's your division?
Everything's going well. We're just redoubling our efforts on security. Obviously, the prisoner escaped and was able to get through with no issues.
I would like to see a report on that, Commander.
You already have it, Captain.
Doctor?
Well, other than the fact that every time I try to look up some files, you know, panels go out. And, I mean, your recoveries seem to be doing well, so all in all, it's a good week for me. Just, you know.
Thank you, Doctor. Book, do you have anything as far as the operations division goes?
Nothing that you've done already, no, Captain. Still having issues due to the kind of jury rigging of our circle of repairs thus far. So we're dealing with that as they come, but nothing we can't handle.
Well, Prax, it sounds like our ship's in order. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add?
Captain, I would suggest that we avoid, I'm sure Chief of Security will probably concur, but given the severe damage to the engine systems, any engagement that we get into will have to go wide of. The rest of the ship can probably take a hit. It can take up a couple hits, but anything hitting the engines, we could see another repeat of containment failure. We can keep it stable for now, but any extra damage could compromise the system.
Well, I hope to avoid any undue engagements, Chief. But I'll remember that in case we find ourselves fighting against the galaxy or something.
Aye, sir. Captain, do we have any word from Starfleet yet?
I've heard nothing since we left the engagement area where the Independence was present. I do have reason to believe they will be contacting us soon, and that there could be major changes aboard the ship if such communication does happen. But until then, we can consider ourselves on normal operating procedure, heading for dry dock. Does anyone have anything else?
I do have one thing. I have to take a look at Michelson's. Michelson, if you would please come to sick bay after this meeting, I need to take a look at your implant. And he kind of says it in a caring but cold tone.
And Michaelson, you can hear the bite of anger on his voice. He goes, "Fine, Doc."
I'm gonna look at Michaelson. Ensign, you would do well to remember that you're talking to a senior officer.
And
He's not wrong.
he's not. No, he's not. This pertains to a whole other scene. This pertains to a whole other scene that he knows nothing about. I'm sorry.
I'll just kind of look at the captain and kind of like, it's okay. He's doing this for, like, you know, he's frustrated, and just let him. He's fine.
Doctor, I will not lose obedient decorum aboard my ship. In fact, I'm quite displeased with this display openly among the senior staff, and I might have to have y'all in after this meeting.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone have anything else for the senior
Bridge to
staff?
Captain Starex.
Captain here.
Captain, we are receiving a message from Admiral Hepburn, sir.
Here it comes.
Inform her that you have received the message and that the captain will take it shortly once he can reach an appropriate place.
Sir, she's pretty adamant she wants to speak to you now.
I am with the senior staff, and it may contain confidential information. Can me and Prax have the room?
Yes, sir.
Regiv gets
Sure
up
thing, Captain.
right away.
No words, as Book just goes ahead and sees himself out.
Outside
I
the hall,
follow after Regov.
outside the hall, you hear Regiv screaming at some security guards for some minor infraction. Fuck you guys doing, you goddamn motherfucking son of a...
In the seconds before taking the call, the captain's gonna look at Prax and go, "Well, maybe your fourth time will be the charm."
Let's hope it not comes to that, Captain.
I don't think we have a choice. I'm gonna tap my comm badge. Captain to communications, you can send the admiral through.
Then in one of the view screens in the observation lounge appears Admiral Hapert. Captain, I have some bad news for you, unfortunately. You are hereby relieved of command until further notice. Moreover, you are to be confined to quarters until you reach Narendra for martial proceedings. Commander Prax, it's good you are here also. You are hereby requested and ordered to take command of the Sarek as acting captain until further notice. Your orders are returned to Narendra. Captain, I am sorry it has come to this, but it is out of my hands now.
I'm sorry that I can't share your regret. This has been forced upon us, and the heart of Starfleet's mission is at the core of this matter. So I cannot share in your regret, but your orders will be followed.
I'll see you when you get to Narendra, Captain. Admiral Heppard out. And the screen goes back to blank.
I'm gonna turn to Prax. It seems like you have a decision to make. I think you should make it rather quickly.
Yes, sir. Any final orders before I relieve you of duty?
Yes. This is the captain to the senior staff. Could you please return to the briefing room?
Okay. Mir kind of walks right back in. Mir walks right back in because he never left the bridge. He just kind of, alright, he's got to take a call.
Shook was just stepping off of the elevator and it's like, well, fucking fine, and turns right back around to the conference room.
And as you guys walk past, Brigham is still chewing out the security guard. Hits his comm badge, acknowledges the captain, turns around and storms in.
It's all right, guys. He's just in a mood, and I'll go after Regov.
Well, y'all are about to me and the commander have just been informed by the admiral that they intend to charge me with the crime, have a court-martial, and that until such time as that court-martial can be held, I have been placed under arrest, or I soon shall be, presuming Commander Prax does her duties. So y'all are here to witness the transfer of command, and Regov, you're here to follow through on the orders given by Prax with regard to me, if necessary. And then I'm going to look to Prax and say, Commander?
Attention on deck. On hereby Starfleet General Order, Captain Roland Starex, I hereby relieve you of command of the USS Sarek, and fortunately place you under arrest for derelict of duty. Lieutenant Commander Regov, could you please escort Mr. Starex to his quarters?
Yes, sir. And he kind of just waits for the captain to move under his own power.
Yeah, because I'd assume he'd still be using a cane.
Yeah, you're just gonna see an intense look of displeasure, and I'm gonna start to walk in.
And Regov just follows behind.
Your orders. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
She just kind of pauses for a minute. It's like, that was uneasy. Ensign Michaelson, I want you to lay in a course to Narendra, warp factor 6. Let's not try and push the Sarek too far. You're still carrying on a lot of battle damage. Anything
Yes,
else?
sir.
Anything else I need to be worried about in terms for ship status, Chief Altera?
Nothing I haven't reported earlier, sir.
Very well. I expect all of you to continue your duties faithfully under me, as you would Captain Starex, until this matter can be resolved. Till then, you're all dismissed.
All right,
So-
just hold on. Just before you guys start to get up from the table, a bright flash of light from outside of the ship blinds the crew. And a message from the bridge says, "Captain, you might want to see this."
So you might want to look at this cliche.
God
Rush
damn
out
it,
onto
get
the
out of my
bridge.
head, Michaelson. Because I said that without hitting my button. I was like, you have to come look at this cliche. Damn cinema sins. Anyway.
Assume we all funnel out onto the bridge.
All right. On the view screen is what appears to be a bright white cone forming about 250 million kilometers away from the ship. The narrow part of the cone seems to be ever expanding and stretching until suddenly the bright white cone disappears, and it's in its place a single ship, no larger than a normal shuttlecraft, appears right where the cone shape was.
Chief
Dr.
Kier, could you scan the object? Tell me what I'm looking at.
That was
Absolutely.
unsettling.
And I will definitely do that. The scanning of which was requested of me.
All right, I got a little bit more to read. So the ship appears on the screen to the bridge, and you'd notice that is a small. Oh wait, nope, never mind. As you were. Right, scanning. Actually, I think I'm going to do this. So scanning. Chief, you notice that you are being hailed.
I step away
I'm-
from the center of the bridge and put my hand to my ear. Go ahead.
I meant the ship's being hailed. I meant Chief Kerr.
Okie dokie. The ship in general is being hailed. I will alert the commander to this. Sir, we're being hailed.
On screen.
Right, on the screen appears to be the bridge to the ship. It is a small bridge with just enough room for a pilot and his control panels. This alien that you see before you has fair skin with a head similar to that of a human's, except for a cranial ridge that starts from the top of his nose and sort of forms a triangle on his forehead, and it blends into to his black slicked back hair. The alien speaks first. Greetings. Would you mind telling me where I am? And I think we're gonna jump to the captain now. Leave a little bit of suspense.
Captain Starex or the commander?
Captain Starex. I'll still call everyone by their normal ranks, so that we don't get confused.
So, I'm gonna assume that I'm in my quarters now.
You probably just reach your quarters with Commander Regov right behind you.
And Regov had already coordinated a couple of security personnel by now, so they're following in behind him.
I'm gonna enter without saying a word to Regov.
And Regov just stops right there and posts the guards outside and heads towards the bridge.
All right, and we'll stay with the captain.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to tell the computer.
Oh, I gotta get
Start
my
a le-
computer stuff.
Gotta wait for the beep.
That was it.
Start a letter to Admiral Ross, head of operations of Starfleet Command. My friend, Admiral Ross. It's been a long time since we've last met, and my mind tends to wander to memories of years past and to the time we've served together during the war. I believe that you are one of the finest officers I've ever served under. Nothing has been more fulfilling in my career than fighting alongside the great heroes of our time, especially those that helped us retake DS9. I count you among those heroes. But alas, I right now have to inform you that I think that we are no longer in a time of heroes, but one of spy masters and rogues. As you have heard, I've been indicted and will soon face a court-martial for the crime of upholding the rights and traditions of the Federation, and of Starfleet, no less. I write to you in hopes that you, in your wisdom, can see past the fog that has clouded the judgment of Starfleet Command. I hope that you can speak on my behalf and help me restore the glory and honor of our beloved fleet. With pride, R. Starex. End letter. Computer, start letter to Admiral Talon. Task Force 5 non-Michaelson. Admiral Talon, forgive me if this letter is overly emotional. There are facts of being a betazoid that logic can't overcome. I write to you to congratulate you on your continued success in protecting the Federation from the Empire. Every citizen owes you a great debt. I wish to write you in hopes that with your keen strategic insights and prevailing logic that you could aid me in my current endeavor. I have found myself soon to be court-martialed. I'm sure you are aware of the circumstances. I am sure after reviewing my case, you can see that the logic which Starfleet Command is wielding against me might possibly end my career. I do not fear them taking me down. I only fear that in doing so, they may use their newfound weapon and tear down our beloved Federation. As someone who has defended the Federation from external threats, I hope together we can defeat the internal one like we did on the neutral zone. I would ask that you would use your position to prevail upon Starfleet for me. Peace and long life, R. Starek. Computer, end letter.
Very good, Captain. I think with that, I think we'll return to the bridge.
Or at least some of us are standing there
Yeah.
dumbfounded.
I know, right? Captain, I think, just brought tears to everybody in this game.
Wait, there's more.
All right, so we'll get you guys back going. You just heard the alien saying, "Would you mind telling me where I am?"
You're in a region of space that we call the Shackleton Expanse, an area we are known as sort of the Beta Quadrant.
the beta quadrant, and he kind of looks around his control panel, taps on a few buttons. That's clear across the galaxy. And he's still kind of looking around at his buttons.
Would you mind telling us where you're from? And what is your name?
I guess they got the ionic gradient wrong. Oh, right. A name. Let's just say... I had a line for this, damn it. Let's just say I like to wander the galaxy.
So you're a wanderer?
You could say that. Tell me, do you have any proto-matter lying around? I seem to be running on fumes.
Proto-matter?
Not that I'm aware of currently. I would have to check with my engineering department. Is your vessel currently damaged? Are you needing assistance?
No. It just, it seems those idiot scientists that were testing this engine got the ionic gradient wrong and sent me way farther than I'm supposed to be. And apparently I'm out of fuel. Stranded on the other side of the galaxy. How does that sound?
I'm sure it's not very pleasant.
By the way, Mir's just studying this guy. Like, his psychiatrist brain just went, wait, what? Hold on. Okay.
So, out of character, whoever has science or a sciencey, you could probably, like, ask him, like, what the heck that, thing is that he needs. Like, I've never heard of it as far as Star Trek. Have you guys?
I have, yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But it's not something we have, I don't think.
I don't think it's on board. We have to either synthesize it or find something, a location for it.
Yeah.
Can I be scanning this guy as he's talking? Like I'm standing in the back, keeping a low profile, very small, standing behind someone who's very much taller than me, and just...
What do you want to scan?
Tricording. I want to know as much as I can about what he is and where he's come from.
With that in mind, Mir is standing in front with his coat out, like with his hands on his hips and his coat kind of out so that she can't be seen, or he can't be seen.
So, those two answers could probably not be answered by scans.
Oh, okay. Then can I get like maybe some information on his biological makeup?
And as the doctor, I'm kind of curious.
I mean, again, it's probably not something you could scan from the ship.
Can verify that he's a life form, though?
Well, you could obviously he's a life form. He has a biosignature. He has life signs. He's talking.
He could be a hologram. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, like you could tell he's the scans are revealing he is a life sign. The ship, through scans, it's not armed. There's no shielding attached to the ship, at least defensive, that you can see.
Okay. Mir kind of walks over to Prax and is like, I don't know if we have any of this proto-matter he needs, but I'm kind of curious as to what he is. So, if you can find a way to bring him on board, maybe?
I was just about to get to that, Doctor. Mr. Wanderer, since you seem to be out of fuel, we could take you in on our secondary shuttle bay if you like, and we can attempt to search for some proto-matter in the area to help refuel you, and I'm sure you would like to get to know us, and we very much would like to get to know you. That's why we're out here.
You know what? I think I'll take you up on that offer. Because I don't think I'm going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
Glad to hear it. Ensign Michaelson, can you maneuver us into a position to where he can easily dock within our secondary shuttle bay? And just so you know, the secondary shuttle bay is actually on the star drive section, because the primary one that was damaged is actually on the saucer section. If you look at the schematics for the ambassador.
Okay. I was just gonna more or less have you tractor it in and beam him aboard, but whichever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, out of fuel and such.
Right, I figured we'd move in position, tractor him in, and then...
Cool. Yeah. Maneuver.
Yep.
Think there's a roll I'll let you do for that.
Daring con, typically.
Let's see what it is. Handouts. Oop, space combat. Con position. Control con, difficulty 0. Assisted by engines con. I figure I'll let you guys bank a little bit of momentum. Yay.
Michaelson, you with us?
I just messaged him. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. What's going on?
Roll.
Yeah, I thought you were doing a maneuver check.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Control con.
Yep. Difficulty 0, assisted by the ship's engines con.
Well, that definitely gets it.
And the ship.
Cool. 3 momentum, pretty good way to start off the scene. So you guys are able to maneuver within transporter and tractor beam range.
Alright, is he's still technically on the view screen?
Yes.
Mr. Warner, if you don't mind, we could transport you in our transporter room, or if you like, you could just step off the shuttle bay and I'll meet you down there.
Transporter? What's transporter?
It sounds like you could use a demonstration, if I may suggest.
It's a way we convert. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. It's a way we convert.
Instant transportation.
We convert your body into a stream of molecules from your location to another location. It's perfectly harmless and safe.
So you're going to turn me into energy, move me across space onto your ship?
Correct.
Now we're talking, and he rubs his hand together. Do it.
Book, if you don't mind. We'll transport you in a moment. We'll head down to transporter room 1.
All right. I think we'll actually head back to the captain real quick.
Real quick.
Keep going.
I would have Mir and Regoff accompany me.
Yep.
And Michaelson
Sounds
would
good.
have the con.
Sounds good.
Here just kind of
sweet,
looks
I
and
get to
goes,
be a
I like this guy.
Alright, so Regov gets to the bridge. What's going on?
You're accompanying us to transporter room 1. We're apparently taking on a guest.
No, I mean, like, he looked at the screen. Regov looked at the screen. He's like, what's going on? And then you said that. Okay, got it.
All right.
Scene with the
Go
captain.
to the captain.
To the captain.
I'm going to be wearing my best dress uniform with the accompanying medals and accoutrement. Computer, start video recording. Dear Atheus, matriarch of Beta Z, and then I'm gonna list like 20 different titles that I'm to here because I assume she has lots of. I, Roland Starek, son of the 7th House, Knight Lieutenant of Beta Z and holder of the Marshal's Baton of Alden, humbly request you make a formal inquiries into my legal status and that your grace uses your infinite mercy to help me overcome the tragedy that has befallen me, your most humble servant. End video recording. And I'm going to tell the computer to send that to the mother of the 1st house of Beta Z.
All right.
Are y'all getting some like computerized voices?
Yeah.
A little, yeah.
I wasn't getting it from much, but I was getting a little of it from Ed.
Yeah, for a little bit, my Discord was red, and a couple people were saying there was that one red bar too. So I'm gonna switch servers, see if that helps things. Yeah, that might be me switching the server. So sometimes the East Coast server is garbage, and sometimes the Central server, which I like to keep it in, is garbage. So it alternates sometimes. But is that a lot better for everybody?
Oh yeah.
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 Billion times better.
Oh, you know, I just thought about the hurricane might be wreaking havoc on the Eastern servers.
Yeah, that might do it.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, so I think with that we will head to the transporter room with this.
Still satisfying.
And the alien kind of looks around, touches himself a little bit, you know, like making sure he's all there. It's like, that was incredible.
I have my tricorder out, by the way.
We aim to please, Mr. Wanderer.
I see you have such advanced technology. You must be quite technologically advanced. They have all this nice stuff, and he's just looking around the transporter room.
Are you not?
It gets us from A to B.
I'm amazed that your ship is able to travel vast distances in what appears to be such a short time. Do you mind explaining how you're able to achieve that?
Oh, that I call the quantum phased rift drive. Impressive, isn't it?
Indeed, it
is.
is.
Actually.
It's quite amazing how it works, actually. It tears a rift through subspace, allowing a ship or an object to transfer from one end of the rift to the other almost instantaneously. I calculate that trip took me, 5 of your minutes, it seems.
Quite fascinating. If you don't mind, I'd love to give you a tour of the ship, and you can explain more about your people and this rift drive that you're talking about.
Sure. But the ship, I would love to see all this new technology. And he steps off. Ooh, excuse me. He steps off the transporter pad.
Actually, if you would please, I would like to scan you for radiation, just in case.
Radiation? I don't feel sick.
Well, you wouldn't if you were only subjected to it for 5 minutes, but it's a good thing to know if you were or were not infected with it, right?
I suppose. Get on with your scans.
Alright, and I'll scan him for radiation.
Yeah, he appears clean.
Okay, cool. Just don't want anybody losing their hair and growing cancer and shit. Because that takes time out of my day. Anyway. Sorry, continue.
If you don't mind, Mr. Warner, I believe if you would accompany our Dr. Mir here and our Chief of Security and Tactical Officer, Lieutenant Commander Ragoff, they could show you around. I mean, I would assume maybe if you like to, Doctor, if it's okay with you, to show him around Sick Bay.
Sure, yeah. I have a few toys he might like, seeing as he likes the shiny tech.
And Rigov says, and it's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name again?
Names aren't important. I think that one called me the Wonder. I think that works for now.
I see. Well, welcome to our ship. Doc?
Yes, this way, and I lead them to Sick Bay.
And as you guys are walking the halls, he's just kind of looking at everything, very curious, kind of touching panels every once in a while. He'll occasionally like open a random door just because he's eccentric.
Okay, after they're gone though, I want to turn to Book and talk to Book for a second.
I'm listening.
Chief Kier.
Yes, sir.
I want you and Chief Altera to look and study this Wonder's spacecraft and try to do a thorough analysis on it while he's distracted. And then once you're done with that, please report to me. Also, I'd like you to scan any, get with stellar cartography and look for any nebulae that be nearby that we might be able to retain protomatter.
Kier is smiling gleefully. Absolutely, sir. And is definitely going to be excited to study this ship and also any nearby nebulae.
I'm showing him a replicator. Showing him how it works.
So you can make anything out of this thing?
Yeah. I haven't had to try organs yet, but theoretically it's possible.
Yeah. How do you make this thing work?
Well, are you thirsty? Do you need a drink?
What I need is protomatter. Can this thing make protomatter?
No, but I think our science officers are going to try and find you some. Probably in a nebula nearby, if there's one. If not, we'll take you to a nebula and get it for you.
Where I'm from, protomatter is everywhere.
Yeah, not so much on board a starship like this. Our drives use antimatter to go.
Antimatter?
Yeah. Our engines use a warp, use an antimatter reaction to create a sort of faster than light travel.
How very antiquated.
It gets us from A to B, and I just keep walking.
I understand what that said, man. I love moving around. That's why I became a test pilot.
You see Regov pushing some medical equipment button, looking bored. In the background.
Yeah, moving around is certainly good. A lot of A lot of species like to move around a lot.
There's nothing better than just getting out there, going as fast as you can, pushing the next boundary. Really makes you feel alive, you know what I mean?
Actually, I do. And he just kind of looks down a little bit. I do know what that feels like, and I understand that sentimentality. But I haven't been a pilot in a long time.
What stopped you?
Death.
But you're still here.
My species, with my species, death takes on a different type of meaning. We are a dual species. At least some of us are. We have... Let's see. I myself, yes, I've never been a pilot. However, my symbiont, my friend and passenger, has been a pilot before. When his previous host died, he ceased being a pilot and became a doctor.
So there's something living inside you.
Yes.
Very interesting. And he kind of looks to Regov. What's his story?
And you see him on the medical bed, and it's vibrating. He's like, ah.
He's full of bad habits. That's his story. Just terrible habits. That, and I says it in a raised tone, you know, that kind of, I know you can hear me kind of thing. And it's like, that will kill him one day kind of thing, like, you know. But no, he's just human himself. He has a really nice mustache, though. You gotta give him that.
Well,
Gets off the bed. He's like, hey, Doc, can I get one of these in my quarters?
If you requisition Starfleet Medical and they deem you have a problem that requires one.
So, yes, then.
Yes.
All right.
In about 12 years.
Gets like a giddy little smile, like a kid on his face.
You know how bureaucracy works. Anyway, and this is the sick bay, and I start pointing to all the panels and showing him my surgical tools and my office, and yeah.
So he just kind of looks at you and says, so, about this proto matter.
Right. Let me see where we are on that. And I hit my comm badge. Dr. Mirror to Commander Prax.
Yes, Doctor.
Prax. Our guest would like to know how we are doing on our protomatter search. Would you like us to come up to the bridge?
Not just yet. Have him show him the holodeck. I'm sure he'd be fascinated with that.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I got a program for him, alright. Hope he likes machine guns.
I think I have a different idea. And
oh, come on, Doc. You're gonna bore him to death.
He doesn't seem like he's the fighting type. Let's see how he does with mine first, and then we'll show him yours possibly.
Alright.
So yeah, how about they're still searching for it. They're doing the scans now. There is one more thing our captain would like us to show you. It's our holodeck. If you would be so kind as to join me.
Very good. I love seeing new technology. Please. lead on.
All right, and we had holodeck 1.
All right, I think we'll jump to, I believe Chief Kerr had a job to do.
Along with Altera.
Correct, the Chiefs.
Right, the Chiefs.
So I'm going to turn to Altera and say, since we're running on limited time, I say we split and conquer, divide and conquer rather. But anything interesting, I will hold it against you if you don't share.
Okay, Chief. So what exactly are we doing?
We're conducting an investigation of our own. The commander would like you to study his ship and see what you can discern about it. Maybe its make, technology, things like that. I, on the other hand, will be looking for the nearest source of proto-matter in the area.
All right, I'll get right on that then. I'll be sure to send it over to your panel the minute I get anything. Although, hopefully he doesn't have any sensor baffles or anything like that to guide his tech. But I'm good at picking apart other people's things.
Glad to hear it. And
you broke up on the mic.
rolling. Do I roll for this? If so, what?
You definitely dropped out. We have no idea what your probably last 3 sentences were.
How
maybe.
about now?
Well, we can hear you, so that's a start.
Cool. Should I roll?
What were you rolling for? Because we didn't hear a good chunk of what you were saying.
Oh, cool. That's great. I was passing on the commander's message, letting Altera know that they will be checking out the ship while I look for the proto-matter.
Cool. So you're searching for proto-matter.
Yes.
Okay.
A good source of it.
Right. Roll me. I'm assuming you're back on the bridge.
Yes.
Okay. Roll me Reason and Science, difficulty 1, assisted by the ship's sensors and science. Roll 2 dice.
Oh, I roll for the ship too?
No. So when you roll a task roll, it's always 2 dice that you roll. So you just need to roll 1 more. Perfect. And now we roll for the ship. So the question is, did you have a focus?
I have computers maybe. That is probably it.
Yeah, so then that's just one success.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure what if your focus is on or off, because the 2 successes wasn't actually supposed to be it, and I'm just gonna bank that threat.
Cool.
You do get 2 momentum out of that though, so you're up to 5. And
bless you.
And Chief, you do find proto-matter in a Class 1 nebula, about a light year or so away.
I'll note that as ops manager, she actually gets another. If she succeeded, she would get another momentum as part of her role. Page
right.
It's a bonus momentum, but it can only be used to obtain information.
Oh, right. You're right. Yes.
Yeah. So she does get
I
one,
have
but
to use it to obtain information right now, or can I use it to obtain information later on?
Right now, it's used for this role.
Cool. I will use it to discern around surrounding that class 1 nebula. Do I see anything that would impede us in trying to recover some of that prototype? Any obstacles or dangers to look out for, since Kier is very focused on potential dangers?
The only danger that you could see with protomatter is actually finding stable protomatter because it is pretty volatile.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, getting to the nebula is not really an issue.
Noted. So I'm going to buzz the commander on my comm badge.
I'm right there on the bridge.
Oh, okay, that's right. I forgot I went back to the bridge. Cool. Commander, looks like it won't be too far of a trip for us to find our wandering friends from Protomatter. There's a Class 1 nebula only a light year from here.
Can you relay the coordinates to Ensign Michaelson?
Will do, sir.
And then, Ensign Michaelson, you, as soon as you have the coordinates, set a course to the edge of the nebula.
Alright, sir. Setting course 279, Mark 24.
And I should probably go into Michaelson. You'll have the bridge. I'm going to go check on the doctor and Ragoff.
Will do, Captain.
Michaelson, check your message.
Man? Got a problem. Warp drive will not engage.
Cause?
Unknown.
Commander, Chief Altera is taking a look into the other project. Would you like me to head down to engineering and take a look?
Please, yeah,
Or
head
I
down.
could swap jobs with him.
I feel like, actually, check in with the chief. I have a suspicious feeling that it possibly that is our guest ship that might be the cause of this. Well, it's just a guess. I'm suspicious feeling that it could be.
Noted, sir.
At this time, I'm attempting to scan the ship while this is all going on and trying to figure out what exactly puts it together. From what I can tell from the high resolution scanners.
Yeah, well, first I'll send you a message about the state of your engines because no one bothered to check that, and I figured you would probably. Yeah, but we don't really need anyone going down there.
Right, I was gonna have Michaelson check it on his station what the status is of.
Yep, that's what I sent him.
Engines read fully operational, Captain. I just am not getting any power.
Right. Could be something with the. We'll have to wait for the chiefs for a report back on our guest vessel there. There could be an issue with them that we're not able to create a stable warp field.
Possible. Might be missing with the dilithium intermix chamber a little bit.
And so, Michaelson, I want you to actually head down to the Shuttle Bay and prep the runabout for departure. In case we can't get the ship moving, we're going to have to hopefully find a way to get our guests some proto-matter.
And Michelson's face lights up like, finally! And goes, yes, sir.
Michelson, Kier having the best day ever.
Michelson has not left the ship except to Narendra Station, so he is very happy.
It was destroyed in the explosion with the Orion spy.
All right, so yeah, I guess we'll jump to the Chiefs
Yeah, cool.
and wherever you guys were at.
For the sake of not having to leave my station again, since everything I do from the bridge, I will just contact the other chief directly via her comm badge. Chief Altera?
That's Chief Altieri here. Go ahead.
We got a bit of an issue. I found that proto matter we were looking for, but Michaelson tells us that our warp engines are offline. They seem to be running according to his readings and mine, but yeah, we can't move. We are 100% sitting ducks.
Can I request a sensor sweep of the area to see a general sweep, so I'll study what I can and see if there's anything that's interfering with our warp field bubble. It might be an external matter. It might be the new ship, but it might be just something in the expanse.
No problem. I will send you my findings via your datapad.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to do a sensor sweep of the area.
Okay, Reason and Science, difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's sensor science. And I will say you definitely want to pass this one, and computers would probably not be usable here.
Okie dokie, duly noted.
Maybe grab a momentum. Since we have 5, we have quite a few.
Oh, did not realize we had so many. Can I use one for an auto crit before I roll?
The only way you could get in,
thing.
yeah, that's a determination thing. But you could use momentum to buy another dice. So for one momentum, you'll be able to roll 3 dice.
Cool. And to make the computer roll 3 dice for me, under task roll, I select 3.
Correct.
Cool. One day I will know how to roll. Still not today though.
Yeah, it's your second game. You're picking it up.
3 successes.
Yep, you get that momentum back. Then we just need the ship. Sensor science. And don't you have high resolution sensors?
We do.
I have no idea what they do.
The vessel sensors can gain large amounts of accurate data, though they are extremely sensitive. While the vessel is not in combat, any successful task that is assisted by the ship's sensors gains 1 bonus momentum, so she can ask 2 questions.
Oh, there you go. All right, so this will be the information you get.
Cool. First question. Do I see any potential causes?
The cause is in there.
Okay, yeah, totally see that. Forgot that's what that thing was. Cool. Better question. Potential solutions.
There was a question in that?
Oh god, that's not really a question. That's kind of a thing we do. All right, cool, fine. I'm also going to
Now remember, you could tell everybody on the bridge what this is, and then they can help you with questions.
Yeah, definitely want to do that, but I also want the other chief to have some input. So definitely going to ping them first.
Well, it's like a group. It's a
engineer
group.
to engineer thing. That's fine, cool. Turn to the rest of the bridge and say, Commander, it looks like the quantum phase rift drive has destroyed subspace in the surrounding radius.
Okay.
That's 500 million kilometers around the event horizon.
Wow. That's pretty vast.
Captain, that could result in more problems than just us leaving the system. If someone comes through here at warp, him with that rift drive could wind up opening an even worse subspace tear, a subspace rift. Even worse.
Alright, so we have 2 questions to ask here.
Does it appear, a suggestion I might have is that, does there appear to be any way to, does it seem reversible at all, or does it seem irreparable?
Hey, fun fact, guys. I just remembered I have Studious. Does that help us right now?
It would give you an extra question on top of anything else.
Yeah, seeing as
So
you spent a
3.
moment.
So yeah, you guys essentially get 3 free questions.
Nice.
Sadly, how do you fix it is not one of them.
Oh yeah.
How about what is the correct question?
I'll take it, but the answer is going to be 42.
Well, that's just the answer to everything.
Oh,
Exactly.
I mean, since we do have a couple extra questions, then I think the question of whether this is something that is going to be a permanent feature in this area is a fairly valid one.
So this damage to subspace is comparable to the damage that your warp engines do to subspace, but on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
Noted.
As in like the warp engines, and there is a next gen episode about this, but warp engines kind of destroy subspace, but it takes thousands of years to actually do damage to where you couldn't use warp. This seems to do it in a matter of minutes.
Huh.
And
Cool.
it's all theory, but the theories of what you guys would have read shows that it's pretty irreversible.
So I passed that along word for word, next gen part included. No, just kidding. But I do let them know that this is just a larger scale of damage, similar to what our warp engines do.
So yeah, that would be definitely your first free question.
I would recommend maybe, is it spreading, or is it a definite space that it's tearing? Like it's not continuously making it bigger and bigger.
I mean, if it's that much similar to our engines, my thoughts would be that it doesn't spread, like in the way that our damage
I
doesn't
suppose.
continuously spread to the area.
Yeah.
I would assume it doesn't either.
Um.
I mean, if we don't have any other pressing questions, definitely one I want to.
But
Hold
see,
on
here's the thing. Yes, it interacts with subspace the same way we do, but it did what we do times like thousands of years. So that's like times trillions in one shot.
Oh yeah.
Very true.
So you got to think about that too.
Very true. Still want to hold on to it though, because our first priority would be how to get out of the trouble it's causing us.
Okay.
I think
Okay, real
we're
quick.
kind of stranded here right now.
So this is a possible question, but would there be a way to get telemetry on where his point of origin was from? If at
Yeah.
all possible.
Yeah.
Is that another role or another question?
That would
That
be a
would be-
question.
That'd be a question.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So
In
you
that
could
case,
definitely.
probably want
so-
to ask that one. Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of piece together the telemetry of like where the funnel formed and where the smaller part was, and you kind of triangulated that this might have occurred on the far edge of the galaxy, probably between the Delta and the Gamma quadrants, like right between them.
Holy hell.
Whoa.
And at the very edge of. Or toward the edge of.
My God.
He went all the way to the other side of the galaxy.
He went plaid.
That Voyager wish they had this.
He did. He went ludicrous speed and went plaid.
Are there any tachyons involved? That is to say, is he a time traveler?
Is that the question? Because we have two on the table right now. That one
We only-
and the other
He
question
did
about whether
say-
or not it's
He
spread.
did say it was a quantum drive, so, you know.
That's why I'm curious, yeah.
And he does seem kind of disfamiliar with technology that we would consider to be pretty widely spread at this point. So is that going to be the question we want to ask? Whether he's outside of space and time as well?
Outside of time, we definitely know he's outside of space.
Cool. Yeah. That question.
So, so the question is, are there tachyons present? Was that the question?
Tachyons, chronotons, anything that could be consistent with time travel.
There
Yes.
is not.
Okay, so small relief.
And that was your 3 free ones. You still have a full bank of momentum at the moment. If you feel like you need to ask any more questions.
Has the slipstream drive been invented yet? No?
No.
No, not yet.
No.
Oh, okay. I was just curious. I didn't.
It might have appeared in Voyager already, but Voyager's not home yet.
Yeah, but you guys know about the Borg.
That's transwarp, though.
I have no other pressing questions, personally.
I don't either.
Neither. I do still kind of want to know if it's spreading, but I don't know if that's something I want to spend momentum on, because if it is, we
Actually,
will have
yes.
all day to study it.
Actually, yes. Yes, you do.
Because if you know if it's spreading, there's an end. We can impulse to the end and warp out.
Okay. One momentum for, is it spreading, Alex?
It is not spreading.
That is a huge relief.
Yeah. Just means we better not go to warp right now.
We can't.
We can't. Well, yeah, that.
Nice.
Ugh. 500 million kilometers. Full impulse.
The edge of the Delta Quadrant.
No, we're not going that far. We're going to Narendra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just shocked that he came that far.
So,
5
Oh.
minutes.
full impulse, sublight speed.
Yeah, Ensign Michaelson, full impulse to the edge, or get us out of this dead zone. Chief Cure, please drop a warning, suspect's warning buoy. Buoy, yeah. I can't talk.
See, here's the problem. No, I'm totally okay with what you're doing, Prax. If subspace is torn, I don't think a subspace beacon would help.
This is true.
So you might have to try for
No, well, I'm
like
gonna.
some kind of.
Well, if I could
other
finish my sentence, though, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Chief Cure, if you could prepare a subspace buoy as soon as we are out of the dead zone and drop it, warning all ships to avoid the area.
Can do. Hopefully. I definitely attempt to do that.
Yeah, you don't need the roll for that because that's something you definitely know how to do.
Yeah, and I literally just resume my previous course, but at full impulse instead of warp.
Sounds good.
So 279 Mark 24.
Computer, what is the current location of Dr. Mir?
I guess we could probably say you've probably made it to the holodeck by now.
Yeah, we'd be on holodeck 1.
And to Michaelson, you have the bridge, and I'm gonna head to holodeck 1.
Yeah, I've put up a hologram of like Trill, like a program of Trill or Trillius, and we're kind of walking through jungles and such. Maybe a couple of the cities.
And he's just kind of looking around. See, the view's okay. What I'm more interested in is this technology. This is awesome. Light into matter, matter to light.
Yeah, it's photons. It's just a matter of using magnetic fields to control photons.
What else can this thing do?
Regov?
Oh boy.
You want to see something fun?
What kind of question is that?
What do you do for entertainment?
Me, I fly the most dangerous ships I can possible.
Well, I'll show you something. Computer, open range 92 Delta. Load.
Where's my computer noises? There we go.
The scene changes to like your typical range that you would see in like World War II, and you see mounted on 3 jeeps in front of us, 50 caliber machine guns. This is what I mean by fun. And he walks over towards the jeep, gets right behind it, starts firing. Empties out the entire box, 50 cal. Looks over. You want to try?
I want to drive it.
You know, Regov, I wonder if it's in here. If it's in here, he might enjoy it. Although Michaelson might get upset.
And with this, we'll have the commander.
Yes.
With that, we'll have the commander walk in.
Commander, just in time.
Hi, Commander. We were just about to let him do a simulation flight against Michelson's fighter.
Well, I was gonna let him drive first.
Let's hold off for just a second. I do have some bad news to give our guest here. However, I do need to quote both. I'm going to have to talk to both of you about Starfleet regulations afterwards, about addressing me as commander when I am in fact the captain of this vessel currently.
As you wish, Captain.
Right. Yeah. My apologies, Captain.
She just rolls her eyes like, great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he said it snarky too. Like, there was no hiding it. He was like, he was very indignant. But in a playful way. Anyway, yeah. So, you had news for us, Captain?
Mr. Wonder, my question is, you know how this device you use to travel from point A to point B fully works?
What are you getting at?
Are you aware of what we call, due to your fascination with our technology, I'm just wondering if you're aware of what we call a region of space known as subspace?
Yeah, that's how this thing flies, through subspace. It's really amazing when you actually get into subspace, the speeds you can get up to. Time knows no limits in subspace. It's amazing. You should try it.
Well, our vessel, the Sarek, travels what we use a device called a warp drive, which uses subspace travel. But when we operate under warp drive, it also damages subspace slightly. Your drive, however, destroys subspace instantaneously you use it. Currently, we have to use other means of propulsion to get out of the region. Your ship has inadvertently damaged subspace to the point of no return, allowing no ships to be able to travel within 500 million kilometers. Is that right?
Sure, that's how travel works. You have to destroy something first. But besides, space is vast. Huge. I cannot be concerned if a small part of it happens to get destroyed from our experiments.
I don't think you understand the ramifications of your drive of what it actually is doing. By doing so, your people will not be able to travel at these vast and, quite frankly, fantastic speeds as often as what you think.
But that's why we are always innovating. We're always finding the next great technology. Today, it's flying faster than the light itself. Tomorrow, who knows?
I mean, our ship normally kind of looks back at Prax. Normally can travel faster than light, but because of your ship's one jump, no ship in the sector can fly faster than light ever again in this area.
I don't see how that's any of my concern.
It should be your concern because from your point of origin, most likely you damaged and destroyed subspace beyond a point of no repair that you won't be able to travel from that region. If you travel from your home world like that multiple times, you could inadvertently damage subspace in such a way that your planet system will be locked out from faster than light travel.
But that's why we use the testing ground. So that we don't have to put our planet at risk. We have this nice, huge open space at the edge of the galaxy where nothing bothers us, and we can do whatever we want. It's true freedom.
But you're not thinking about the ramifications of other worlds.
Yeah.
Why would we?
Because you're not the only people in the universe. The rest of us have to live here too.
And eventually you will create technology that will circumvent this situation too. Obviously, it's going to take you guys a bit longer than the rest of the galaxy, but not all of us can be geniuses.
Is your species just able to just develop this technology and just now starting to travel faster than light?
Oh, we've been traveling faster than light for eons. This is the first time that we actually were able to get into subspace and use subspace itself to travel. The ship I have creates a rift in subspace that allows us to travel almost instantaneously to wherever we want.
I understand your technology, but I'm in a conundrum to whether or not to fuel your ship now, because you are damaging our region of space, a space where we inhabit and have to explore, and not only just us, but other species as well travel through this region of space. So
well, as I tried to explain, we tried to set this for only a short jump, but the eggheads that I work with messed up the ionic gradient and sent me way out here. Now, if you'll just get me my protomatter, help me adjust my gradient, I'll be able to get back home, and I will never bother this area space again.
Commander, can I speak with you for a moment?
Of course, excuse us.
Thank you. Sorry, Captain. Yeah. One, I don't think we should let him ever fire that ship up again. Two, as far as I know, the only way back to his section of space safely, other than a long journey, is the wormhole.
You see Rega in the background showing him how the machine gun works.
Currently, with the current treaty with the Dominion, it would take weeks, and we're not entirely sure that it would take. It would take, of course, decades off his time by him using the wormhole at Bajor, but it doesn't say the minute we let him go out there, he's not going to use his ship and destroy subspace. The minute he leaves into the Gamma Quadrant. And not to mention, I don't think I personally do not want to be responsible or liable for starting a second Dominion war.
Well, I don't either, but I also don't want another huge area of space that is essentially a no man's land, just because they want to fire up their drive and poof away, never to be heard from again, with only us bearing the ramifications.
I also have another conundrum, Doctor. I'm not entirely too sure if I really want to give him protomatter. Protomatter is a highly dangerous and unstable substance to use. Containment could fail, and it could wreak havoc on both ships.
Yeah, that's a issue. That's I mean, this is a rough situation. Because on one hand, we could ask him to retrofit his engines with a normal warp drive and send him on his way, but that's going to take him years to get home. Or we help him, possibly put the ship at risk, and rip a hole in subspace so big you can put 3 souls into. Is that basically what I'm getting at, or our choices at this moment?
Our options are very limited right now, Doctor.
Alright. Well, how should we handle this, Captain? Because I'm not entirely sure I want him to get back on his ship.
I'm waiting for the report from Chief Altera on his ship. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We'll go to Chief Altera.
I am currently leading a engineering team to the where the alien ship is, and we're scanning the exterior and trying to see if we can I'm trying to lead try to figure out what this thing is exactly, how its propulsion works. Basically, trying to reverse engineer it without going inside, which that's easy.
Yeah, so the exterior of the ship looks just like any normal shuttle-sized ship would. It's not anything special. It has its deflector shields. Its hull, nothing too extravagant. But the engines, you can't even begin to fathom how they work. They are so far advanced that you're not even sure of the theory behind it.
All right. I'll also take out my holographic imager and walk around the ship and get full pictures of it. I'll tell my team to keep recording as much as they can. Try different bandwidths, different frequencies. If we can't figure it out now, someone at Starfleet Science or Starfleet Engineering might be able to figure it out. For now, we'll just I'll report to the commander, the captain, I suppose now.
It's
Yes,
gonna
Captain.
take us. It's going to take us some time to get used to calling you Captain.
It's a short times, all right.
Well, then
Yeah.
you can live with being called
Short
Commander.
time.
I'm just it's technically Starship or Starfleet procedure, so
I know,
Just
I
down-
was just picking on you.
Master Chief to Captain Prax.
go ahead, Chief.
I'm not making a whole lot of heads or tails of this ship. Its theory is going way beyond anything we have, in my experience. Without the aid of Starfleet Science or Starfleet Engineering, I'm very unlikely to determine anything. Unless I can get permission to or cooperation from the alien, there's not a whole lot more I can do. I've also taken holographic images for records as well.
Very well, Chief. Good work. If you don't mind going back to engineering and see if you can't boost power to the impulse engines to get us out of this dead zone we're in.
Aye, Captain. Should I leave an engineering team here to keep examining the ship, or should I just call it back to standby?
Use your discretion.
Aye. Aye, sir. And with that, I'll tell the engineering team to scan what they can, do whatever tests they can without going aboard, without taking anything off, and then I'll head off to engineering to work on the engines, the impulse engines, try to get them to go a bit quicker. Do you want to roll for that, or are we going as fast as this thing can go given its damage?
Oh no, the ship moves at the speed of plot, so you don't need to roll to try to put more juice in it.
In that case, after determining that, I will start poring over the computer records and see if there's anything similar to this guy's ship or an alien like him.
Not in records, but you're able to find the instances of when subspace was ruptured by warp technology and stuff, and the damage it can cause.
One last thing, I suppose I would check. Do we have any proto matter aboard the ship?
You do not.
Hooray! I'm actually glad for that. I believe that's it for me, honestly.
All right. So yeah, I think we'll head back to the holodeck then.
Okie dokie. I'm assuming Regov is just showing him how to drive the Jeep.
Yeah. Well, he took apart the 50 cal and he's having a speed contest of putting it back together with him.
Come on, Mir, fire it up.
Alright, so first off, I'd look at Prax. Do you want me to keep him busy in here while you continue to work on your problem?
There's not a whole lot we can do right now until we get out of the damage to subspace.
So entertain him.
Correct. See if you
alright.
can't pry any information more about his people than what he's given.
Not a problem. I kind of wave him over. Wanderer, I have a request and a proposition for you.
Is it about my proto matter?
Yes and no. One, it's going to be a contest because you are a pilot, right?
Listen, I tire of this scene. I think it's time I get the proto matter installed in my ship, and I think it's time I get out of here.
Well,
Rigo steps over. He's like, "Well, just because I beat you in the speed contest, you don't need to be all butthurt about it there." Why are you
I have
leaving
gone
us then?
speeds that you cannot even fathom going.
yes, and I've pulled maneuvers you could never attempt in your entire life. So, I mean, we all have things we're good at.
Well, the doc is right. We do have this other program with this experimental ship we have.
I think
It's,
Michaelson
nice
has
and shiny.
something I sent him.
Yeah, it's a yay or nay from Michaelson on whether or not we can use
Oh,
it.
okay. I understand why you sent me that now.
Yep.
Oh, okay, you were waiting for me. Okay, my bad.
Mhm. Yep.
In that case, I'll hit my comm badge now.
There it is.
Captain Prax, this is Michaelson.
Go ahead.
We just cleared the rift.
Very well.
We can go to warp anytime.
And the Wonder says, so that's good, right?
Yes, that's good.
Well, let's go get my proto matter.
Actually, I think I was the one that gave that order last time.
Yeah. So I guess we're going towards the nebula. Well, then I don't know. I assume we're still on the holodeck because I hit the wrong button and disconnected, so I didn't hear the last little bit.
If you don't mind, Mr. Wonder, if you, my two officers here can continue to entertain you while I look into solving your conundrum and hopefully get you back home.
I think it's pretty easy. Proto matter to my ship. I fire the thing up. I go home. It's simple. What's there to think about?
There's a lot to think about.
Enlighten me, because I'm starting to get the impression that I'm being kept here.
Not at all. I thought you were entertained, weren't you? Looks like you're having a blast there for a second.
There seems to be a lot of talking around me, not to me. So if there's something you want to ask me, what is it? What do you guys call him? Captain? Or her, I should say. What do you call her? Captain? Why can I not get my proto matter and go home? What's the holdup?
The holdup is you're asking me to give you a dangerous substance that could potentially damage the proto matter. We consider it's a very unstable and dangerous substance that can not only damage my ship and the safety of its crew, and while the same side of it, to power your vessel to gauge at speeds that rupture subspace to the point that it's unrepairable, permanently could potentially stranding nearby ships traveling in this region.
Well, I think I have solutions to all of these. Captain? I can show you how you can build a containment field so that the proto matter, how did you say, won't blow up? Is that the word I'm looking for? Won't blow up?
Yes.
As for the rupturing subspace, surely there's enough space in, what did you call this, the Shackleton Expanse, where no one uses that I can potentially use it to get home. Surely this area of space is bigger than 500 million kilometers.
Surely
So-
you know what a chain of command is, right?
Gladly, I've never had to deal with such trifling things. I just fly ships.
If you excuse me, I'm definitely trying very hard to get you back home. But the same token is I also have obligations that I have to attend to make sure that everything is done properly.
Well, I figured do what you must if I'm gonna be a prisoner here. You know, I think it's time I get to my vessel. Start getting it ready. I get the feeling I'm starting to wear out my welcome. So if you'll please show me to my ship.
Regev looks over at the captain, waiting for the signal.
Very well.
If you'll follow me, and Regev leads him over to the transport room.
Well, the ship's in the Shuttle Bay, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And after they leave, Mir kind of leans into Prax. You had Altera scan it, didn't you?
Of course, Doctor.
You might want to tell her to stop before he gets upset.
I believe Altera was already done with that.
Well, that's good. And I just kind of straighten my coat and walk out of the holodeck.
All right, I think this is probably a very good point to head back to the captain.
Okay, I'm going to be sitting. I mean, still sitting in a chair. I'm going to say, computer, start a letter home. Is there going to be a beep?
There was. I don't know if you heard it.
Oh, I may not even have Roll20 open. Dear family, I've found myself in trouble and could use your help and contact. I would appreciate if you could reach out to the Federation Diplomatic Corps, the Matriarch, blessed be her grace, and anyone else you can think of that can aid me. Yours truly, R. Starex. Computer, start a new letter to
Yep, little quick.
Starfleet. Yeah, that one wasn't that important. Yeah. Starfleet Logistics Medical Equipment Section. Computer, encrypt all further parts of this message under Roland Alpha 3 Beta. My eyes on. To my love, sorry. I have news which is both dreadful and hopeful. But first, I must apologize. I've promised for too long that one more award, one more promotion, or one more victory would allow me the influence to mend the rift between Romulus and Beta Z. I now fear that it is not my destiny to solve this issue. I, however, will press on nonetheless. The issue for which I write to you is grave. A rogue force, not unlike the Tal Shiar, has conspired to throw me out of Starfleet. I fear if this happens, I will lose any chance to attain higher station such as ambassador or admiral, and work for the future of our peoples. I would, however, be free of my obligations to Starfleet and the Federation, and I could attempt to return to Romulus, or you could cross the border to me. I am no longer sure of what I want and look to you for further answers. From the Federation with love, redacted. Computer and encryption. I would like to request 300 hyposprays signed Dr. Tomar Mir and sent to these coordinates in letter.
Well, as soon as I get time, I will do that.
Well, no,
Alright.
yeah, I'm not asking you to ask for 300 hyposprays. That's just a decoy.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else, Captain?
Nope, I'm done.
All right, cool. I think we'll head back to Prax.
I'll head out first from the holodeck, and I will tap my comm badge when I know I'm like kind of alone and away from the Wanderer to Chief Altera.
Chief Altera here. Go ahead.
Chief, do you still have anyone in your engineer teams next to our visitor's vessel?
Yes, they're still doing detailed scans without entering the ship.
I need you to pull your teams away from his vessel.
Are you certain, sir? I've been informed it's the cause of the nearby predicament.
It is, but I have no intention of him allowing him to depart the vessel at this time.
Aye, sir. I'll pass that along to my men. Chief Altera to Engineering Team 1, please report back to ready status in engineering.
And they confirm.
And then I'm actually heading back to the bridge.
Okay. And we'll pick up there as you exit the turbo lift.
And,
By the way, I have been following Prax, so.
and Ensign Michaelson stands up out of the captain's chair.
Chief Kier, have you dropped the buoy?
Yes, sir.
I want you.
More than one.
I want you to find a region of space that our visitor could potentially launch from as a last alternative. That would minimize the impact of space travel for us in this region.
Understood. So, just so I'm clear, do we intend to proceed to that nearby nebula to obtain the proton matter?
Not as yet. Ensign Michaelson, get us close to the nebula. I know we're reasonably already close, but I do not want to enter the nebula just yet. And then I want who was ever at comms patch me through to Narendra and have it in the captain's ready room.
Will do, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to go to the ready room because I want to talk to the Admiral.
Okay,
And I've settled into an auxiliary science station somewhere on the bridge.
cool. So, Prax, you enter the ready room. And as you take a seat behind the desk, you pull the little laptop-looking thing and press a button, and there appears the Admiral. Captain Prax, what can I do for you?
Admiral, just to notify you on the situation we have currently, we picked up a unwanted passenger right now. From our scans and telemetry, he comes from essentially the border between the Delta and the Gamma quadrant on the very much outer rim of the galaxy there, and his means of travel, which appears to be his vessel, is a test craft of some sort, completely ruptures and destroys subspace as a result of the travel.
That's very concerning, Captain.
The damage to subspace is a 500 million kilometer area. He very much would like to return home. However, I'm at a void of caution here as whether or not I want to allow him to use his craft again to further damage subspace in this area.
I could see why you called me, Captain. And in all regards to the Shackleton Expanse, it is owned by no one, so anyone can conduct any business they please there. But you do bring up the valid point of the damage to subspace. Captain, I placed you on this ship for a reason, and I trust you to make the correct decision. I will back you 100% in whatever decision you make in this regard. But do remember, the Federation does have laws, and unless this person has broken any crimes, we cannot hold them.
Understood, sir. Just to inform you that there'll be a slight delay arriving at Narendra, but I have every intention of delivering the ship as promised to Narendra Station as soon as we're dealt with this matter.
Very good, Captain. We need some time to prepare anyway. Keep me informed.
Will do, Admiral. Prax out. I head back onto the bridge. Chief Kira, have you found any reasonable location for us to have our guest here launch his craft from, for at least to minimize the damage?
Player to DM, have I?
I will send you a message.
Nice.
Hey, I was going to ask to just look for a group of, like, dead solar systems to let him launch from the middle of, so, Like, pick a point between 3 dead solar systems and just let him jump from there.
Or, I like the other chief's suggestion. Let him launch right next door to Romulus and be on his way.
Well, not Romulus, not Romulus.
Yeah, I know. Romulan space. But, I mean, if you're gonna go big, go big.
Alright, so I think I'm just going to tell you, because what I typed is horrible. You figure that the place where you first found the ship is away from any major planets or shipping lanes, and more importantly, away from any of the borders between the Romulans or the Klingons. So you figure, like, if you were to do another jump in that area, the damage will be relegated to a smaller area. If that makes sense.
So basically, we're running him to the gas station and then back to his car.
Essentially. Essentially.
Right, okay. Apparently, the Federation Federation has become AAA. I don't
It's what we do.
like a
Sarek
good
doesn't have a-
neighbor. The Federation is there.
I thought that was their standing mission orders.
I think it is. I'm just making
It
jokes.
is.
Not inaccurate. Oh, but we do still have to come out this way anyway, because we have to.
Right.
Okay, I see what you mean by gassing them up. Cool.
Yeah, he takes that super unleaded high octane, like black hole fuel.
Very well, book. Ensign Michaelson, Chief Kier, prepare one of the runabouts to head towards the nebula and work with our guest. He has a way to contain the protomatter and head to the Class 1 nebula and gather the needed fuel for him.
Aye, sir. How close do you want to be to the nebula? I'm thinking short jump, but
I want to be. I want to keep the Sarek out of the nebula, so I want to be in a safe distance because I know the nebula could be very harmful with the protomatter to the Sarek.
how's 500,000 kilometers sound?
Very good. Yeah, that'll work. And I'm going to head towards the secondary shuttle bay and inform our guests.
Okay.
Cool. Book is gonna step away from his station and say, "All right, Ensign. Looks like we're going on a field trip."
Yeah, I finally get off of this damn ship.
And what nobody sees is Mir slips into Book's station just to keep an eye on things.
Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna jump to the next scene, so I'll throw you guys at 4 momentum, and we'll enter with the acting captain entering the secondary shuttle bay. And as you enter, you just notice the your guest just kind of inspecting the outside of his ship.
I assure you, we have done nothing harmful to your vessel.
Oh, it's not that I don't trust you, Captain. It's just, flying through subspace, I want to make sure I'm not going to burn up.
If you like, I could have my chief engineer help you with any repairs that you needed. I have reluctantly decided to let you go back home. I would like you to actually accompany my helmsman and operations officer, Chief Kier and Ensign Michaelson, on one of our shuttlecraft to obtain the protomatter that you desired from a nearby Class 1 nebula.
Very good. Have you made a holding for the protomatter yet?
I'm sure we have containers on there. If you have provided the specifications to my chief engineer, Altera, I'm sure she can replicate a appropriate container for you. I also have selected a region of space for you to launch from that will minimize the damage to this region of space.
See, Captain, was that not hard?
Actually, it was very hard, but I also liked... before you depart, I would like to speak again, and I'd like to have a message delivered to your people on our behalf.
Very good. And he kind of pulls out a weird-looking pad. Here's what I'll need to hold the protomatter and to refine it.
I show him over to a console where he can enter the data in. Chief Altera, could you join us in the shuttle bay? I tapped the comm badge.
Hi, Captain. On my way. I'll start heading up.
And while the chief's heading up, he uploads the data to the computer terminal he shows you, and then Chief Altera walks in.
Ordering is ordered, Captain. How can I help?
Can you assist our guest here in making a proper container and ways to refine the protomatter?
Well, this chamber will do all of it. I just need the thing built.
All right. Let me see. I'll go over to the console and I won't take too long on it. I'll just briefly check over to make sure it's something our replicators can even make.
From what I've seen, your replicators are pretty handy in doing stuff like this. It should be able to handle this, no problem. It's just a simple storage and refinement chamber.
All right.
And you look at the specifications, and they do look rather easy to construct.
Wait, just confirm. He just put that on our computer? Like the data?
Yeah.
Oh, I seem happy, and then go over to the nearest replicator. Replicate program, guest 1.
All right, roll me control engineering difficulty 1. And I don't know if the ship would assist with replicators.
I was gonna say it might be a computers
engineering maybe.
thing.
Yeah, computers engineering I think would probably work.
Do you want me to tag on my? I was thinking of tagging on my focus for computers as well on that same line.
Yeah, no, that works for me. Well, I mean, technically they're replicators and they are a separate focus.
That's true. I'm not programming the thing to do something weird.
Right, you're just using the replicator.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll just roll it for that. I won't go too crazy.
Cool, and then just I need the ship's computers. Perfect. Yeah, the computer. Where's the noise for the computer? I wish we had a replicator noise. That would be a nice touch.
Wouldn't it technically be the transporter noise?
Is it?
It's slightly different.
It's a little bit like lower as far as like volume, but no, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that would be something else. I'll have to get Captain Grennan to find us. Replicator noise. Cool. Yeah, it replicates it without a problem. The guest alien kind of looks at it, scans it with one of his devices really quick. Yes, that'll do nicely. I knew these things were wonderful.
Do you want a spare, or is the one going to be good, sir?
Do you trust your technology? Is that Chief?
Master Chief Petty Officer Tier, but just Tier since you're a guest. And yes, I do trust their technology.
Then we shouldn't need a spare.
Very good. Anything else I can do for you, sir or Captain?
If you don't mind, Chief, if you could take the container to the other shuttle bay and deliver it to both Book and Michaelson for their trip into the nebula, and see if you can help get the Wonderbout underway.
Aye, sir. And I'll pick up the container. Is the guest to come with me, or I kind of just trail off like I'm waiting? Or do you wish to continue speaking with Pym?
I'll leave it up to the guest. He's more than welcome to travel along with my helmsman or with my officers.
I think it's time we get this mission started.
All right. Follow me, sir.
And he follows.
Right into the break. Not just kidding. I go where I was ordered. Tell me where the bomb is.
Cool. So, yeah, we'll head to the shuttle bay. Wait, are we not already in the shuttle bay?
There's two.
Yep.
Okay,
There's
you're going
two.
All right, you're going to the other one. Cool. All right, so yeah, you go to the other shuttle bay. with where I'm assuming Michaelson, Chief Kerr are patiently waiting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ensign, Chief,
Accurate.
I have a delivery.
Oh, thanks, Chief.
Is it one we're going to like?
I don't know. Do you like containers that contain things that could explode? Because this supposedly should be able to
Absolutely.
refine it and keep it safe, so it shouldn't kill you.
And he
So
taps, and the alien taps the Chief Altera on the shoulder. What kind of fun would this mission be if there wasn't a chance of getting blown up?
And behind his back, Michaelson is just flexing and unflexing his right fist. He's just flexing it.
Now, Ensign.
No, it's behind my back. You can't see it.
Me, that's true, yeah. Also, the fun is in, for me at least, is trying to keep that from happening. That's the engineer's job, anyway. Also, Ensign and Chief, I am to assist you in getting the runabout ready for flight, and beyond that, I think it's up to you guys. You're the away team, as far as I'm understanding, with our guest.
Well, this will be fun.
Of course it will be.
Sure, it will
Look,
be.
I think Altera's probably known Michaelson enough to know that he's being sarcastic.
I think we all know everyone enough to know that that describes each one of us.
I seem to be the only one in a good mood. Well, the alien too, I guess.
The alien's eccentric. This is how they act.
No, they must act like humans. Sorry. Yes, no.
So you want to end with that there, Chief?
Yeah, here you go, sir. I hand over the device.
Michaelson, what's your fitness score?
My fitness score is an 8.
Yeah, you kind of buckle over the weight of it.
Oh boy, what's Altera's?
8?
Yeah.
So we were both struggling with it. Okay.
Sure were. She was dragging it.
So I literally
did-
just
why did-
instead of taking the equipment from Altera, I just walk around to the other side and just pick up the other side.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys could have used the
Sir?
transporters.
But this was more fun. So, shall we be on our way?
Well, let us get this thing installed there first, sir. Don't want to leave unprepared.
I begin trying to get it installed into the runabout systems.
And I'm of course helping him.
So it's a standalone system, so you don't actually have to hook it into anything. It's really just to hold the proto matter.
Oh, okay.
And
so
it
we
has
just literally.
and it has
we
like
just-
a little device that helps refine it.
Okay, so we just literally plop it down in the middle of the runabout walkway.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
Well, you'd probably want it on the transporter pad so you can beam the crap in there, but
Yeah. But essentially, we walk into wherever it's going and plop it down, and that's it.
yep.
Okay.
I like when things aren't complicated. Well, installed, I say, as we set it down. If
I'll
there's
look
nothing
over. I'll look over at the Wanderer and say, "You ready to go?"
I'm always ready to go.
Alrighty then.
I'm going to look skeptically at both of them and be like, wow, I'm going to be in such great company.
And
Does-
I'll literally head towards the cockpit and get everything ready to start going.
Okay. So let's go ahead and launch out.
And I'm guessing Chief Kier is beside me, and he's probably back in the lounge.
You guys are.
I'm
You
not
said
beside you. I do
You're
not
not
sit
beside
next
me?
to Michaelson. I mean, I'm also on the runabout, but I choose not to sit next to Michaelson if I can help it.
Okay.
Michaelson now has the plague.
No. No. No.
And he is clearly in a bad mood.
Oh, yeah. He's fixing to do something very, very stupid. That's why I was asking if Kier was beside me and the alien was in the back.
Oh God. No.
well, there's 4
Kier
seats in a shuttle in a runabout
Okay.
bridge, so you know.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess fuck me. Yes, I am.
So there's the 2 at front, and then there's 2 kind of toward the sides of the cockpit.
Yeah.
Lesser of 2 evils, sit next to Michaelson. For the record, Kier doesn't hate you. You're very social, and Kier's just very private.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I completely understand. But you're fixing to see a side of Michaelson you never want to see again. Trust me.
I'm so excited.
Altair's gonna go to shuttlecraft control and just monitor the shuttle's movements, since I don't have standing orders.
And we'll go on ahead and just launch like everything's normal, and everything like that.
I have been running sensors too, by the way.
Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and jump to the nebula.
And Rico's on the bridge, just
Oh,
being on the bridge, I guess.
on the way to the nebula, I want to shoot a text message over to Kier's console and say, "Watch the controls for a second."
Kira's going to kind of raise an eyebrow at that, but is not going to not do it, considering doesn't want us to crash and die. So yeah, Kira's gonna watch the controls.
Michaelson's gonna stand up, smoothly, turn around, grab the alien by the back of the head, and knee him in the face.
Oh my god!
Oh, for the love of...
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. Roll,
That's a daring security check.
Yep.
Oh my...
And I am definitely spending 1 momentum for 3 dice.
Who do I want to use for this? Since I didn't make a character sheet.
Oh, crap.
Because probably wasn't intended for this guy to get into combat.
Oh.
Okay, this one works.
I'm sorry, I just had to.
Oh, no, it's fine. We're going to end the session right after this.
Oh,
I'm-
we broke it.
I'm going to spend 6 threat.
Oh,
Oh
crap.
my god!
Make that 7. This will be a lethal attack.
Oh, crap.
The character sheet I pulled up is a hand-to-hand combat specialist.
Oh. Oh!
So I get 5 of that back.
Oh my god.
Well, kid,
You have a fitness of 1, and you just wanted. I mean, sorry.
I had a security of 1. Security of 1.
That's
Daring of 11.
cool. So you're very good at doing stupid things, but
I'm going to spend a threat to increase damage to make that 5, to make that an injury, and a knockdown.
Oh, boy.
So,
fucking god.
so Michaelson, you will receive a lethal injury.
Oh,
And now,
boy.
and now it'll be his turn.
Fucking hell.
He is going to attack the chief.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
what?
I will spend 7
Cool.
threat.
7?
Yeah.
well, you got 2 people killed. Michaelson, Nice.
I spent a lot of time rolling new characters last night, so I'm ready. I'm good with this.
All right, you got to beat 4.
What do I roll? Daring security?
Yep.
Cool. Fucking cool. Is anything going to help me here? Fuck.
Praying to God.
I have no focuses or values that can help me here. The best thing I got is composure and driven to ease suffering. And that's only going to help me if I want to mercy kill Michaelson. Oh my god. Alright, cool. This is fine. This is fine.
This is totally okay.
Do we have any momentum left? Because I want to spend some.
You have
we've
3.
got 3.
You can get
Okay.
2 extra dice.
Yeah, I will. 2 extra, but leaving us with no momentum. You know what? That's fucking fine because I don't want to die. Cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna spend that momentum for a total of what?
4 dice.
4 dice? Okay, cool. Jesus fucking Christ. Is composure gonna help at all?
No.
Nope.
How about emergency medicine? Okay. Small craft, we're on a runabout.
Nope.
I'm reaching. Okay.
Pen-
You could turn off the inertial dampeners and just launch it to one side.
That actually sounds like a pretty good
Well,
idea.
he's trying to punch you in the
Yeah.
face, so
Okay, fair. Fuck me. Okay. Yeah.
that's
No,
so
definitely-
he rolls damage.
Jesus goddamn Christ.
I am going to not spend any threat. Chief, you're going to take 3 and be knocked down.
Okay.
You know what? I will spend a 2 threat and make it 5 to make it. I'll make this one a non-lethal injury.
Okay. Cool. So 5 and I'm knocked down and I have a non-lethal injury.
Yep.
Cool.
And
Can
he contacts the ship.
Fucking
Oh,
hell.
crap.
He contacts the Sarek?
He does.
All right, I look at Regoff and I put it on screen.
So that's what you had planned all along, isn't it, Captain? Attack me while I'm off your ship?
Excuse me? I gave him
Eddie.
like a puzzling look, like, what?
This one, and he points over to Michaelson, tried to attack me. I was forced to defend myself.
Can I
And
shoot
he's
him
not
while
looking-
talking?
You're knocked out.
And I
Oh,
look
oh,
at
knocked
and I
out.
look
I was
at
just down.
Book and I'm like, and him?
I had to ensure my safety.
Oh shit! Oh well, I guess that doesn't help either. Never mind.
I gave no such orders to attack you.
Well, they did.
How far away is the shuttle right now?
At the edge of the nebula.
Ensign Tech, move us with slightly closer so we're in transport range of the runabout.
Would you prefer me and Regoff to take their places?
Oh, there. Why are you volunteering me there, sir?
I mean, we do have a tractor beam.
Well, we have to get within transport range to beam you guys off.
Yeah, that
Let's
too.
beam us off. Make sure he can't leave with this goddamn ship.
He's like, you guys moved far away from us, right?
I
We
don't
were
know,
still
like you said,
we were still
he said
on
take
our
it
way
from-
there.
So you got to probably about halfway, and you're still heading toward the net because no one bothered to change engines. And for transporter range, you have to be close.
And kind of close range for tractor beam too. So
Mm-hmm. So you are definitely out of range of that. You're probably at long range though.
right.
You're probably not long range. Probably at Probably at an extreme range, I'd say.
Mr. Warner, if you can please wait there, I'll move my vessel closer, and I will personally come aboard the runabout and deal with the situation myself.
How about you just put my ship in space, and I'll deal with this myself?
I cannot allow you to launch from a region of area that could be detrimental to this region of space. So if you like, I will continue to help you out. I've made a promise to you on that, and I intend to keep that promise to you. And I will roll a persuasion check, and I also have diffuse tension on my character. I'm assuming
Well,
he's still
Captain,
violent.
he looks to his... I don't think he has much time. My ship in space now.
I had to look at Prax. Captain, he's right. Michelson's probably got, he's probably got about 15 minutes, if that. So.
I feel like me as a person, like as the player, has also lost 5 stress because I am super distressed right now. My God.
I'll bank a threat.
Is it, Mr. Warner, please stand down. I'm going to help you any way possible that I can, but I need to ensure the safety of my officers. I have to move my ship in closer to beam them off. You will not be transported yourself.
My ship, Captain.
I plan to return you to your ship, but you cannot launch from where you're at currently.
Captain, what if we just give him the coordinates of a launch point?
I kind of motioned to cut that. I was like, Mir, we have no way of knowing he will abide by that at all.
Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, it's Michaelson and Book out there that, he's already fatally wounded one of them.
Regov sent that message while you were still talking to the alien.
I want to have the Sarek do a quick warp jump right up to the runabout.
Okay, I'm going to spend my last 6 threat to end the scene. And then we'll do your warp jump.
Do you see the message, though? It's in,
Yeah,
20.
I know.
That's odd.
I see it.
So yeah, so we'll go ahead and end the scene. So whatever injuries were there were not healed. Minus Kurz, because that one was non-lethal. And you may do your warp jump.
Someone needs to get tech out and roll.
Okay. Well, while they're jumping, he kind of Mir looks back and is heading toward the turbo lift and says, "Beam Michaelson directly to sick bay," and then I just kind of head that way.
Are we gonna roll for the warp jump or not?
No, unless you want momentum.
I kind of do, because I have a plan.
Okay, well, yeah, if you roll, I'll make it complication 2 because of the proximity to the nebula.
Someone wants to get tech out and roll for him.
I'll get it. Tech. Oh, Viridium Techs?
Yeah, the Andorian.
Yep. And you need what kind of roll, sorry? Control con?
Yeah, I think so.
helm operations focus, yes.
Yep.
Okay. It's a normal roll, so it rolls just 2 dice, yeah? So, bam.
Cool. Bank 1, bank 2. And you guys are able to warp. You probably have to spend 4 power to get into right on top of them.
Can I shoot the Wanderer now that I'm
Okay.
somewhat conscious?
We'll finish what's going on the ship first, and then potentially.
Cool.
Okay.
Ragoff, lock a tractor beam on the runabout. Chief Altera, please transport both Michaelson and Cure to sickbay.
I captain, and I run for the transporter bay and begin doing that.
Okay, you
Right.
can't transport through the shields.
Oh, it has its shields up?
Sure it
The
does.
runabout?
Captain, shields are still up. I can't transport.
Regov is attempting to lock the tractor beam onto the ship.
Okay, I believe that's just a normal hit task, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's control security.
Control security, normally a difficulty of 2.
Which I got.
Cool. You bank 2 more threat, and you are able to engage the tractor beam.
Excellent. Captain, I have a lock on our shuttle.
Mr. Wonder, drop the shields on the runabout. Allow me to transport my people. The runabout is currently not going anywhere. We have you locked into a tractor beam.
Very well, Captain. I see you have locked me into a corner. And he lowers the shields.
I begin transporting.
All right, roll me. Oh, what was the transporter one?
I want to say control engineering, but that's off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's just the difficulties. I think it is control engineering, and I believe it'll be difficulty 4 because it's base difficulty 2, and then +1 for not being on a transporter pad. And if are you sending them to sick bay?
Yep.
Then it'll be +1 for not sending them to a transporter pad.
I believe it's decreased because I'm doing this from the because I'm doing it from the transporter room.
Yes. Hold on. Let me double check that.
Sure.
Yes, it does decrease the difficulty by 1. You are correct. So it's difficulty 3.
All right, I am going to. Pardon me. Throat just want to close up there for a second.
Spend 3 momentum by 2 dice.
Yep, that's what I want to do.
And I believe it's still assisted by the ship as well.
Yep, sensors, engineering.
Sensors and engineering, correct.
Cool. And what's the difficulty now? 3?
Yes.
I'm going to be extra cautious. I intend to spend a determination using nothing beats Federation engineering on the basis that the transporters are well made, well maintained, to the point that this sort of thing isn't that hard for us. With the intention of getting turning. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't be able to afford all 3. I just realized. Now I'm just gonna roll the dice. I'll stop fiddling. So none of my focuses apply here because that's its own thing. All right, yeah. Oh, jeez.
That's 5, so you bank 2 momentum back.
Nice.
So I got you at 3. And both of the Chief Kerr and Ensign Michaelson are beamed to sickbay.
Captain, they're in sick bay now.
Alright. I go to stabilize Michaelson.
As soon as you get there, you notice that he has no life signs.
Oh, son of a bitch. And yeah, life signs are no. I'm gonna try and like resuscitate him, and yeah, shock paddles, the whole bit.
Yep. Can't help him, Doc.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Alright. Looking over Kerr, is he injured, like, other than a bruise or anything?
Just bruises, maybe a mouth concussion.
Okay, I give him basically Starfleet Tylenol and send him on his way. I
Cool.
leave sickbay, go to my quarters, lock the door, and you probably can hear me openly weep down the halls. Anyway,
Sorry.
that's it.
Chief,
Sorry, book.
I'm sorry, what?
I transported your character before you start shooting him.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I would much rather be safe here than my fitness, daring, and security are not that high. So I'm fine with this.
Alright, so out of character, now that we have the shuttle bay on a tractor beam, the alien is still on board, right?
Correct.
he's on the runabout, yeah.
Okay, but we still need to get him to contain that material so we can get it on board his ship, correct?
Correct. However, Chief, Tara, I calm towards him in transporter room.
Captain?
What is the risk level to the Sarek if we use the container with the Sarek to gather the proto matter?
How at risk is the Sarek if we go to close range to transport the protomatter? Is it going to detonate on us, or?
If you're very careful, it should be safe, and the container looks to be stable and of a well thought of design to minimize any difficulties.
How difficult would I think it'd be? Like a 1, a 2, or so?
To beam it, it'll be depending on how and where. The base difficulty is still 2, but it depends on what and how you're transporting things. So
I would say the theory is putting the thing on a transporter pad, the container, and then when we're in close range, beaming from the nebula into the container on the pad. And I'll be doing it from the transporter room to try to minimize.
Then yeah, I think it'll be difficulty 2.
Okay.
If you're doing it from the transporter room onto a pad, I think everything will be... So then it would be difficulty 3, but the transporter room would bring it down to 2.
Captain, we should be able to do it pretty fine. The container's well made. We shouldn't have any issue.
Very well. Tech, move us within close proximity of a proto matter and notify the chief and begin transport. Ragoff, please use the tractor beam to maneuver the runabout back into the shuttle bay.
Very well. Hits a few commands and you see the shuttle bay, or the shuttle moving towards the shuttle bay.
While they're doing this, can I ask one of the nurses or other medical staff about Michelson's status? Because I can make assumptions, but
Well,
I
you
think-
did just leave the. You did just see the doctor leave sickbay abruptly, just walk out after looking at Michaelson and then briefly checking you out to make sure you weren't in severe danger.
cool.
Yeah, pretty much what you see is like the nurses kind of draping the telltale sign of the blanket over him. I think that's all the assumption.
I need it.
Yeah.
Great.
You know,
Cool.
on second
the
thought, Mir's
bridge south
probably
of
going
where?
to the bridge. Yeah, Mir is
Okay,
not going
cool.
to his quarters. He's going to the bridge, and he's fuming. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's cool. That's exactly what I wanted. I just really wanted the bridge, specifically Regov, to know that this dude killed Michaelson and fuck what he wants. Murder him.
No,
But did Michaelson initiate the attack?
We don't know. He said it did.
yeah, we don't
He
know at
said
this
he did,
point. We
yeah.
just know Michaelson is dead. And Mir already has a temper. Sorry, playing his fault. He's got a temper. Anyway,
Yeah. Transporting.
Yep. Once the ship's within range, I'll begin the transport sequence.
Cool. Control engineering. I said difficulty 2. Assisted by sensors engineering.
Going to spend 3 momentum to get 2 dice.
All right, that's got you guys out of momentum. Cool. You get 1 back. Get 2 back.
excellent.
And then sound effect. And the proto-matter is in the containment chamber.
I take a brief moment to take a tricorder to make sure nothing's wrong, that everything did do what it was supposed to do.
Yep, all the seals look sealed. Everything looks stable.
Oh, jeez. Master Chief to the bridge.
Go ahead, Chief.
We have the perimeter aboard, all stable.
Very well, thank you. Tech, move us out of the nebula. Ragoff, you're with me. Riding down to the shuttle bay. I want a security team.
Very well. Regov hits his comm badge. I need 2 security teams to the shuttle bay immediately. Hits it again.
Kind of want to run into them on the way there. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. Alright, so I guess as they're coming down the hallway on deck 4 or something, I just look at Prax and Regov just completely heartbroken and say he's dead. And then just say the bastard killed Michaelson.
Regov
And
pissed.
and then I just look at Prax and go, where is he?
Doctor, there's no time for emotional settlement at this moment. Conjecture, I'll deal with the situation. Go back to sickbay.
Okay, and as I turn to walk away, in one burst of rage, I take my cybernetic hand and put it through one of the panels. Or at least hit the panel really hard, not put it through.
Okay.
And then I'll go back to sickbay.
Regov looks over and he's like, I'll get with you after all this, Doc. I got something just for the occasion.
Yeah, just... anyway. Yeah. He can't even talk, he's just like, yeah.
And with that, Regev turns around and continues.
All right, I think we'll bring this to the shuttle bay.
I feel like deja vu all over again.
Regev motions one security team to each side of the shuttle.
Open one of the panels. I hit a button to open a comm link to the runabout. I was like, "You need to, there's some explaining you need to do, Mr. Wonder. Please come out."
And the door to the runabout opens, and he walks out.
You care to explain to me why one of my officers is now dead?
Would you care to explain to me why he attacked me?
Unfortunately, I have no idea what you're talking about. All I know is I have one officer dead, and you attacked both of them.
What would you do if you were attacked, Commander? Would you not ensure your own safety?
I would defend myself, but I would not kill.
Well, that is the force I felt was necessary.
Unfortunately, we do not since we do not agree, I'm going to ask you nicely, but I'm going to detain you in our brig for the time being until I can figure out what to do with you.
So this was your plan all along?
No, it was not, Mr. Wanderer. I had every intention of delivering you, getting you back home safely and sound. Until I can get a formal investigation done, you're going to have to wait in one of our brig to ensure the safety of my crew. I hope you can understand that.
Do what you must.
And with that, Regev motions to the security teams.
And they grab him on either side and start dragging him. Or, not dragging him, but forcefully pushing him toward the brig.
Commander?
Yes, sir.
I want a full investigation. I want logs pulled from the runabout. I want to know exactly what happened to Ensign Michaelson and Chief Kier.
I'm on it. And Regev steps inside the shuttle and starts checking the logs.
Yeah. You see... So you pull up the logs, you see that the ship was flying out, and somewhere during there, I guess you could say the video inside the shuttle does show Michaelson standing up and kneeing the guy in the gut, and him turning around and giving him one swift hit to the face. And then turning to attack Chief Kerr right after. So from what you could see, it was Michaelson that started the brawl.
All right, and round about how much time do you think that took?
What's that?
How much time do you think it took for Regev to sort through all that?
Not long. It's no. I mean, it's just a matter of looking at a video that might have been a minute long.
Okay.
But everyone agrees that's what happened, right? Like I wasn't out of line with that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. Mike, no,
100%.
I'll explain why afterwards.
Cool.
And Regev looks over his shoulder. Captain, you might want to take a look at this. It pretty conclusively paints a picture of what happened. And he pushes play.
This is very disturbing, Commander.
As you can see, it appears for whatever reason Michaelson just snapped at the guy. What do we do in this situation, Captain?
Obviously, he was defending himself. Granted, it was extreme measures. Unfortunately, the Prime Directive applies here, and I have no jurisdiction to unlawfully hold him.
You know, crew morale will plummet if they see that happening. Just release the person that killed one of our most popular bridge crew members.
I wasn't planning on releasing him just yet.
What are your intentions, if I can ask, Captain?
Fortunately, Commander, there is no right way or wrong way about dealing with this situation at the time.
I just have to know so I can, you know, keep security ready in case the crew morale drops so low that it becomes an issue.
I need to confirm with the doctor about Michelson's mental fitness as to why he would have done something like this before I make a decision to let our guest go.
All right, sounds good. Where do you want me in the meantime?
On the bridge. You're currently acting first officer, Commander.
Thank you, sir. And Rygov starts heading towards the bridge.
I'm gonna head to sickbay.
Altair just puts away the protomatter because he hasn't been given orders otherwise.
I am not, as far as I can carry. I can stay on the transporter pad to beam out at a moment notice.
All right, so we're going to see the doctor.
Yep.
Yeah. When Prax walks in, Mir is at the computer typing furiously.
I'm assuming, is there a door?
Yeah, I mean, I basically have a crusher office, so it does have a door, yes.
Alright. I close the door behind me.
Captain?
Doctor, did you do a full mental examination of Ensign Michaelson before clearing him for duty?
I mean, yeah, I have to do that with all officers that I clear for duty. You had to go through one too.
Then can you explain to me as to why Ensign Michaelson would have all of a sudden hit our guest? Either computer logs show that he assaulted him first, or attacked him first.
Well, I can't speak for his... I mean, as far as his mental state went, he passed all of his psychic evals with flying colors. After the accident, I fixed his ear. I had to do some extra tuning on his cybernetics for his ear. I mean, I gave him that picture, but I mean, it was kind of a, he did take a console to the face. It was kind of a thing. You remember Joseph? I know you do. Nikas talked about him a bit.
Yes, Nikas' old flame.
Yeah. Well, we had a picture that we all took. Michaelson was in it, and you know, I figure I had Nikis's and he never got one, so I was going to give it to him, since he had that console go off and I didn't think he was going to make it there for a little while. I just figured he should have something to remember his parents by. So I don't know if he kept any pictures. So he may have been holding something back inside that he was always a crafty kid, but
Do you ever think there would have been a time and place to inform me beforehand that this could cause increased stress upon Michaelson? That could have led him to this event?
the thing is there were no warning signs to this. If there were warning signs, yes, I would have told you immediately. That's kind of my job. That's what I do. But at the time, it was more of a family issue than it was a professional one.
Doctor, I'm beside myself what to think on the situation because
You don't think I never thought he'd be actually capable of doing something like this.
he more than likely with the accident and then what happened to his parents would have put in handing him that photo could have sent him off the edge.
Okay, it was still his to have, regardless of whether or not we didn't know that this guy was gonna show up. Would you have?
I would have not cleared him for duty if he was suffering through some sort of trauma like this, Doctor.
He wasn't. That was the thing. He had
Obviously,
there were no warning signs. If there are no warning signs, there is nothing I can diagnose. It's not perfect. It makes mistakes. It's science. It happens. You can't catch everything. I have been beating myself up. Out of anybody on this ship, I should have known. I didn't know.
His attitude during the briefing was a clear indication that there were some issues, and you said he was
upset
just
with me.
Correct.
Not anybody else. People, Prax, Israel, you know of all people that the way people act in private towards people and the way they act toward them professionally, you can still do your job and not be happy with somebody. Is what I'm saying. I wish I would have caught it. You have no idea how much I wish I would have caught it. And if that means I have to, I'm going to put it all in a record. There's going to be a record of it. If they want to bring me up on malpractice charges, that's fine. I deserve it. But you can't catch everything. And I regret not catching this. But as far as any kind of psych evaluation that I have given him, it was the exact same one I gave you. It was the exact same one I gave the captain. He passed it with flying colors, just like you guys did.
Was this before or after he got the photo?
It was after. He woke up with that photo on his chest.
Did he talk to you even remotely after he had the photo? After the examination?
Yes.
Did you have any sort of altercation with him about it?
He just asked why I kept it from him. And I explained to him that I had to get to know him again. that, you know, being a Trill, relationships work differently. I explained it to him.
You know the rules, though, about reassociation after a previous host, Mir.
That's only romantic, and you know it.
It applies to romantic, but it also applies to other, like, siblings and, you know, former family members of the previous host, not to reintegrate yourself again. It's not just romantic companions. I know you never went through the initiate program, but there are rules and guidelines that we have to follow
Yeah.
for the safety
Well,
of us and those that we once cared about.
Yeah, well, I guess that's not a problem anymore now, is it? Because the only other person that I know on this ship from previously is you. So. Anyway, was that what you were looking for, Captain? Because I
Yes.
have a lot of paperwork to do.
We'll talk again later. And I
Yeah.
leave the office.
Yep, and I go back to typing on the computer.
Okay, where do we want to go from here?
Slowly crying on the inside.
I am like fighting tears. I'm not even kidding.
Bregov hits his comm badge. Captain, can I talk to you for a minute?
Of course.
Bregov heads over towards your quarters.
I'll meet you in the captain's ready room right off.
Oh, okay. Alright, so he heads there. So, Captain, what was the result of your investigation, and where do you want to go from here?
Michaelson was clearly dealing with some psychological issues that were not present in the doctor's examination. They happen to be of a personal nature.
I see.
As of right now, I have some reports to file out, if you don't mind, handling our guests. Work with, I guess, whoever's at Ops now. I don't know if book has been cleared yet. That's out of character, by the way.
Yeah, she got some synth aspirin and got sent on her way. Or his way.
Cool. So yeah, I guess I'm back on the bridge then.
I thought you were going to avoid going back on duty.
No, I was avoiding that conflict. I just didn't even want to make eye contact as Prax was leaving the office. I was assuming if I was still in sick bay, I would just fake being asleep. But being on the bridge is way safer.
Commander, associate who's currently at Ops, Chief Kier has been put back on duty. Also work with the engineer. And let's get our guest home and try to minimize damage to the subspace locally.
Alright, so you want me to go release the prisoner and get him to a ship? Get that going for you, Captain?
Yes.
Alright. Anything else?
That'll be all.
Alright. Turns around, heads out, goes down towards the brig.
And you enter the brig.
Looks over at the guards. Release the prisoner. He is our guest and will be departing home to his part of the galaxy.
Good riddance.
Yeah, I apologize about this. I conducted my own investigation, and of course, you were rightfully defending yourself, despite my personal feelings. I apologize on the behalf of the entire crew. We are evaluating right now why Michaelson did what he did. I hope you can accept our apology.
Very good, Commander. But if it's all the same, I definitely think it's time for me to leave.
Okay, just follow me and we'll get you squared away. I hope you can send this message in a positive way back to your people on the behalf of the Federation. This was entirely an accident, and we don't want you to think of us in this manner.
Most of the people I have seen seem well enough.
Mir wants to make his way to the Shuttle Bay.
With that, they head out towards the Shuttle Bay.
All right. Yeah, we'll meet up in the Shuttle Bay.
Ragov. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to do a medical scan on the Wanderer here, make sure he wasn't injured. If that's all right with you.
It's perfectly fine by me. However, you probably have to ask his permission.
Yeah.
With that, Regov walks off and hits his comm badge to the engineering. Who out of character? Who was going to coordinate that with the whole gas?
You have to work with Altera and also Book.
Okay, well, anyway.
Altera will help you with the refueling, and then Book can actually get the coordinates for you.
Okay, so he hits his comm badge, calls him down to the Shuttle Bay to start working on that task.
Aye, sir.
Be there soon.
Looks back over towards the doctor and gauges how the conversation's going.
Yeah, so I did ask him, do you mind if I do a quick medical scan on you? Please, I just want to make sure that, you leave as well as you were found. No hard feelings at all.
If you must.
Alright, and I take out my tricorder and scan him, and then I will look at it and be like, okay, this should help you, because you do have a little bit of minor swelling, but I don't think it was from the attack. But this should help you with it's an anti-inflammatory. It's not gonna, it's like a pain reliever kind of thing. Would this be acceptable? All I gotta do is just to your neck. That's it.
Very well.
Can the Lieutenant Commander detect what is going on right now? Can you use a roll to figure it out or something?
And I use the hypo spray on his neck and say, all right, you're all good to go, sir. You have a nice trip back home, and hopefully this doesn't hurt your view of this quadrant of the galaxy. And I just, step back and kind of stand there, not suspicious at all in any way.
Doc, really quick, check your message.
Regov was gauging the conversation, so that's why I was asking if I could roll.
Roll me insight security.
And the silence was deafening.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I got like 3 things going on right now.
Okay.
Where are they? Yeah, Doc, that's probably just fine. Just go ahead and do that. Probably after we could ask somebody to tell us how to do that.
Sorry about that. Okay. Here we go. So.
Okay, so before, like right before you're about to do the hyperspray, Regov grabs you by the shoulder and he's like, "Is everything okay, Doc?"
Just the first one.
Yep.
Everything was fine. He just had a little bit of swelling. I just gave him an anti-inflammatory.
All right, you're the doc. I got a bad roll, so I had to. I'm gonna go with it.
It's all right. I got a bad roll too. Wait. No, I can't do that because that was just to do the roll, wasn't it? Damn.
Yep.
Is there any way I could re-roll that?
Yeah, I think you have to have a value that would allow you to use to re-roll in this situation, which you don't.
I kinda do. Fight over flight.
No.
Yeah,
Not in this.
danger.
So, Regov, you allow the doctor to inject the person with this venom. However, doctor, you vastly underestimated his immune system.
Yeah.
And as soon as you stick him, he falls down in major pain and dies right on the floor in front of you.
Huh.
Oh God.
Well,
Security, detain this man.
yeah, and I just put my hands behind my back.
Master
Brig.
Chief Altera
Court
reporting.
martials everywhere.
What the hell?
Yep, that's a perfect time for that, Chief.
Hits his comm badge as the chief enters. Captain, the doctor has just killed our guest.
That log pause is the log pause, just so you know.
Fuck it, we're all going down.
Very well, confine him to the brig.
This poor traveler.
Yep.
Man. Oh, there is nothing accidental about that.
Not even a little.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Oh yeah, no, that'll be Mir's story. Yes. Seeing as nobody actually knows but Mir.
I think this is probably a very good time to end this episode.
Yeah.
Just as I was literally getting a care package together for him to take back with him and to tell his people not to come near Federation space. Anywhere near the Beta or Alpha Quadrant.
I'll just send back a corpse like,
Ooh, sorry, your guy died. It looks like you guys are really allergic to space out here. Don't come back.
All right.